I have a form of congenital muscular dystrophy, pretty rare one. I think it's pretty essential that anybody who's running recognizes the problems with our healthcare system and some of the problems inherent in privatized healthcare. That the profit motive and the provision of adequate care can sometimes be in conflict, and that when that happens, there is need for regulation.
And if any candidate is in favor of offshore drilling here in California, statewide or locally, or county, city, or whatever, they're not going to get my support. And I don't think they're going to get anybody's support, except maybe a few people who have a cloud over their mind about economic viability. Well, it's essential that there's going to be a candidate that is going to help all of Southern California move the nuclear waste from San Onofre.
Given the way that I was brought up and just my family's history, I'm a Republican. I don't hate gay people, or I don't want to build a freaking wall, and I'm not so just like so Republican. I throw it in your face and all that. So it's just it has to do with how I was brought up, but at the same time, from the standpoint of a Democrat, I disagree with wanting to build a wall, for example.
Military mom, military retired spouse, military sister, military daughter. The whole family was military. We know that war is always inevitable. If things will be peaceful, then you'll have war, and you have to have the military there to help to protect us. And I'm glad I have my sons that are willing to do that.
But you voted for Trump, though?
Definitely, yes. And they're not going to, they say most African American women wouldn't do that, but I am not. I have a sound mind.
You're not?
I'm not influenced by the media. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you think he's in fact making America stronger?
I do. I do.
I see dissension among women because there are a lot of women who still think Donald Trump is wonderful. They overlook the kinds of things he did to women. When you look at the array of Republicans, you see white men in suits, paunchy, not young, not terribly young. Most of them are old men, and I don't see many women who influence what they're doing.
People within my own circles actually taking action, and I am pretty active going to rallies and going to things like that, and seeing when I actually see people that I'm friends with or people in my community actually attend those things and go to those things, and seeing people actually take action further than just expressing their feelings but actually acting on those feelings. That's when I see that change is happening.
Barrio means neighborhood, and this is the barrio neighborhood here in Carlsbad, and it's been that way forever. This is the oldest neighborhood community in the city of Carlsbad. I think a lot of my concerns are the same as a lot of people, especially within the community here, because a lot of them are retired, they're older, they have families, but they're concerned about their health care. They're concerned about immigration because, immigrants were what made up the community in a big part early on. And so we're concerned about the immigration laws and what they're doing with them and how they're imposing them. And we're concerned about the health care laws and what's going on with that, and whether they want to take our health care away, Medicare, Social Security.
My main concern is seeing all the things on the news about immigration and deportation. It's sad to me when I hear families being separated, especially when they have kids, when either their mom and dad have to be taken away and the kids have to stay here. It's sad. I feel like The Latino population that can vote should go out and vote and, take it seriously, not just, stay in their homes and say, oh, my vote doesn't count. Of course, our vote counts. If, we can make a difference.
Equity is my primary issue. I know that the stereotype of surf riders is that we're all hippies, and I do work in environmental politics a good bit of the time, but my primary issue is equity. I think that the American dream has sort of been spoiled, and we don't have the economic mobility that we supposedly used to have. Renewable energy is becoming more economically viable, and when we put our federal money and our federal time and effort into that stuff, it's only going to get more affordable and more rewarding financially for the institutions that are engaged in it.
Need to get through to young people that, even though it's, it looks kind of gross, a lot of times, the political process, is pretty unseemly, but, even if they don't really want to be involved and they don't like any of the candidates, their voice must be heard, because they might not have any desire to participate, but their landlords will be, their bosses will be, their insurers will be. So, if they don't play the game, they're going to lose the game.